Hello, my name's Beverly Richards, and I'm with Read Aloud West Virginia of Marion County. I want to read one of my favorite Christmas stories to you today because it's a beautiful book, very eloquently written, The Little Christmas Tree. And the story is by Catherine Smith. And it's illustrated by Simon Mendez, but the paper engineering is by Richard Jewett because it's a 3D, three-dimensional book. It's beautiful. So it's designed and produced by Catherine Smith along with Richard Jewett. Can't wait to read it to you. Here it is. One cold winter morning, Jack woke up very early. He rubbed his eyes, stretched, and leaped out of bed excitedly. He and his dad were going to choose a Christmas tree today. In the forest, it was time for the birds and animals to wake up too. They stretched their paws, fluttered their wings, and started looking for food for their breakfast. It had snowed again during the night, and the trees in the fields were covered in a soft, white stillness. The animals knew that it was deepest winter, and that it was nearly the time of year when a pretty fir tree would be cut down and taken away for Christmas. As the cold wind rustled through the trees, the animals could sense something in the air. They wondered which fir tree would be taken this year. There's Jack waking up. That must be his house, and he and his dad are going to find a fir tree for Christmas. Look at the animals. A lot of animals live near his house. Isn't that cool? That afternoon, the forest animals watched as Jack and his father climbed up the hill to the forest. They were looking at all the fir trees, thin ones, bushy ones, small ones, and tall ones, but they couldn't find the right tree. Just when Jack was beginning to give up hope of finding the right tree, he came across a small clearing. In the middle grew a lone tree. It had long, curved branches, a strong and sturdy trunk, and although it was small, it stood as straight and proud as the tallest fir. It was perfect. "This is the one!" cried Jack excitedly, and his father agreed. "Let's come back for it tomorrow," he said. "We've taken so long that it's growing dark. We should go home now." There it is, in the middle of the clearing, the little fir tree. Clearing is an open part of the field, so they found it in the middle of the clearing. It is pretty. Jack waved goodbye to the little fir tree. "I hope you will be all right," he whispered. "It's so cold and lonely in the forest." He didn't know it, but the little tree could never be lonely in the forest, even in winter. Day and night it was surrounded by the forest creatures, from the birds who nested in its branches to the rabbits who burrowed at its feet. Now, animals have ears just like us, and when they heard the little fir was going to leave the forest, it was all they could talk about. How they would miss their tree. All evening they huddled together, trying to decide how best to say goodbye and how to show their gratitude to their friend for sheltering them all year. At last, they came up with a plan. I wonder what they're going to do. That night, as Jack slept, the forest clearing was alive with twittering, squeaking, scurrying, and hurrying. Every creature had a job to do. The ants decorated the little fir with rich red berries. The squirrels scattered pine cones in the branches. The mice and the birds stuck feathers between the boughs, and the rabbits gathered glowworms to shine like Christmas candles. and as the animals worked, the silent snow began to fall. They're all working. Beautiful book. The next morning, Jack couldn't wait to see the little fir tree again. Would it be as perfect as he remembered? He raced up the hill, wading through drifts of deep snow. "Hurry up, Daddy," he shouted. "The clearing is just ahead." Oh! Jack and his father stopped in their tracks, and they gasped. There, in the middle, dressed in all its winter's finery, stood the little Christmas tree. Its frosted boughs sparkled in the morning light, and glowworms glowed brightly. Jack thought he had never seen anything so lovely. "Oh, we can't chop it down now," he breathed. "It is far too beautiful." I think the animals like it too. Jack's father nodded. "The tree belongs in the forest, not in our house," he smiled. As he spoke, the silent forest suddenly burst into life with excited chattering and twittering, and a thrush began to sing at the top of its voice. "It's almost as if the bird is singing for the tree," laughed Jack, listening to the joyful noise. Then he had a wonderful idea. "We can sing for the tree too," he cried. "Let's come back on Christmas Eve to sing carols right here. That way we can still have Christmas around our special tree." And that is exactly what they did. That Christmas Eve, the next Christmas Eve, and every Christmas Eve after that. Their family's singing. They're singing Christmas carols. Isn't that a special time? The end. I hope you like the book as much as I did. And I hope that you get to spend Christmas with, gathering happy memories to keep with you forever. And read a book. Read a book. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye.